Hello, good morning, everyone, and good evening here. It's already 11:25 p.m. here in Chicago. Anyway, good morning, everyone. Good morning, teachers. Good morning, faculty of IFSU. Thank you, Miss. Thank you to your instructor, my beloved cousin, in a way, and a friend. Miss Maritas Trikawan, thank you for this opportunity. And I hope that I can share my, personal challenges and takeaways in my teaching journey in Cambodia, in the Philippines, and in here in America. So, good morning. So, I'll just have a short introduction of my about me. So, I'm Miss Fritzi Onapag. I'm from Itogon, Benguet. I graduated in St. Louis University, batch 2009, and I've been teaching for like more or less 12 years. So, first, I taught in Cambodia for 7 years. After that, I went back home to refresh and to, kailangang i-polish na naman ang utak. So, I went back home. And of course, I miss my family, so I went back home to the Philippines. I taught there for, yeah, for like 5 years. Yeah, more or less 5 years. And then after Philippines, I'm now I'm now here in United States of America, specifically in Illinois, Chicago, Illinois. So if you know Chicago Bulls, the the arena is just near our house. Anyway, kidding aside, okay, so to tell you my purpose, so for today, the purpose of my presentation is to share my teaching experiences, talk about what has worked well for me in the classroom. So I'll be sharing my personal classroom experiences. I know I will not be talking about theories because I know that you are more, I assume that you are mas magaling kayo sa akin when it comes to theories kasi yun yung you are diving into all the theories that you need if you will be in the real world or the real teaching world. And of course, I will discuss also some of the challenges that I faced in Cambodia, in the Philippines, and of course here in America. And I hope it helps other teachers learn, reflect, and get new ideas for you and for all of you there for their own teaching. I hope that you will have uray basit lang a takeaway for today's short sharing. Okay, so I'll start. I graduated 2009, but I taught in the Philippines for 1 year in Villasis. Of course, fresh grad, very ideal, very idealistic. So, and the energy is still there. So, I taught in Villasis, Pangasinan, kahit na mababa yung sahod way back then. But because it's my first teaching job, all the efforts are there. Na-enjoy ko naman. And my students now are graduate. Um, there are, yeah, I only have 9 students way back private school. Yeah, meron na akong seaman, dalawang engineer, I have interior designers, yung isa is a florist based in Australia, and then the other two are nurses. Wow. Yeah, the other two or yung apat nurses. Parang isa pa lang yata ang may asawa. So, that's a big win for me. Yung first batch of students ko in Villasis, Pangasinan. And after that, I went to Cambodia. My friend, a missionary friend, just called me that they are in need of English teachers in Cambodia. I'm not an English teacher. I'm a special education teacher, but of course, we are Filipinos. We are Filipinos. We are from the Philippines. We are resilient, so we can teach any subject. No, no, not any subject. English subjects because I'm having a hard time to teach math in higher level. Pero pag math ng elementary, kaya naman. Yon. So I went to Cambodia 2011. I was just like 22 years old way back then when I first stepped out of my comfort zone. So I stayed in Phnom Penh in Cambodia. I taught there for 7 years, 5 years kindergarten teacher, 1 year Montessori teacher, and then 1 year first grade teacher. So what are the qualifications if you're going to teach in Cambodia? Way back then, 2011, nagbo-boom pa lang ang English teachers there or most international schools. So merely, it's for business lang. Noon, nung kami pa yung nung unang-unang kami nandun, konti lang ang mga Filipinos doon and most of them are factory workers. So anyway, qualifications, they're not very strict. Even though you're not an education graduate, for as long as you can speak in English, for as long as you impress them during the interview process. And most of the schools are not conducting demo lessons there. So interview, pag na-impress mo sila at correct at nagustuhan nila yung answer mo, you're in. So ganun lang yon. So also for the qualifications, hindi kailangang may lisensya ka bago, bago ka nila kunin. My roommates are not teachers and they are not licensed. They are nurses. Meron akong HRM na class na roommate na nagtuturo din. And we are all teachers there even though we are not all education graduates. Application process, walk-in lang. Ang walk-in lang kami noon. So we made our CV, printed, and then niisa-isa namin per school na mag-submit. And also, they also have online. Pero mas better nung nag-walk-in kami. They will just call you and then they'll set up for an interview in there. And very easy pa noon kasi if you don't like the school, some of our friends there, if they don't like the school, pwede silang mag-resign even though at the middle of the school year at maglilipat ulit ng school. Anyway, so there. And next, I'm going to talk about life as a teacher in Cambodia. So the teaching setup in Cambodia is there the education setup is, the education setup muna. Punta muna ako sa educational setup. They are just, students are just learning they are just with me for like, one group will all just be with me for 3 hours. Kasi morning, they will study English from 8 to 11, and then they'll have a lunch. And then in the afternoon, they will study Khmer or Cambodian lessons or some Chinese lessons. So they have English class, Khmer, or Chinese class. So parang 3 hours lang sila. 3 hours mo lang sila tinuturuan. So most likely you are just an English as second language teacher there in Cambodia. Very few hours lang na you are going to meet with each other. Kids are very kind there. They respect you. Parents also are very kind. They really look up to teachers there in Cambodia. My workplace is very healthy. Like most of us there as teachers, we collaborate. We always have like Friday meetings to share our instructional materials, to share strategies that are effective to our class. At pag may printing silang mga decorations na sobra, they will share it to you. So, hindi masyadong mahirap ang experience ko as a teacher in Cambodia. Kaya rin ako nagtagal doon kasi the workplace is very healthy. Mixed kami doon. I have Cambodian co-teachers, I have Americans, I have Canadians, I have Filipinos, as most of us are Filipinos there. Parang five kami, tapos basta mas maraming Filipinos. And our principal is white American, so very open siya and then very considerate and very empathetic. So my I enjoyed the working space and my coworkers there in Cambodia. And for the students, I taught kindergarten most of the time. Um, well, the curriculum is not that very good kasi parang hindi masyadong na-update, but it's fitted naman sa mga students. There are also materials that are there, and as I've said, we help each other for the materials. So parang kung wala ako, I will just ask from my coworkers or yung kasama ko na kinder, we will share. So um, well provided ang resources, good working environment. Kids are, I mean, they respect you. Parents are also good. And overwhelming pag kindergarten kasi at the beginning of the school year, parang iiyak-iyak lang yung mga yan. But once routines are set, once they know their drill, they know their culture and climate of the school. They are, at the end of the school year, you will be very, very proud kasi nagbabasa na sila, kumakanta na sila, they know how to add, they know how to read, they know their history as well. So they are just like a sponge. So very overwhelming if you are a kindergarten teacher. And they always say that kindergarten teachers are, most of the kindergarten teachers, dapat doon daw yung mga magagaling kasi talagang sila yung foundation. Yan, foundation. And also, life as a teacher in Cambodia, hindi ako masyadong napapagod kasi lesson plans are just brief because it's already provided. You will just put it in as your guide. Meron lang kayong lesson plan book. IMs, meron akong teacher assistant na dalawa. So if I will print, they will cut, they will laminate and all. Ako lang ang gagawa, but they are the ones, sila na yung parang kamay ko. They fix the chairs, they help me manage the classroom. Pag nagdi-discuss ako, they make sure that everybody's listening. So I enjoyed Cambodia. It's like a second home. But ang downside naman nun, um, professional developments are lacking. Hindi walang masyadong professional development. So kanya-kanyang diskarte kung paano ka mag-grow. And also, what else? Yeah, culture. Maganda naman yung culture, but of course, nag-adjust din ako. I came from, I mean, ang background ko is, ang parents ko are from Bondin province. So, medyo pasigaw, how I talk, malakas, ganun. Or, alam mo yung Igorot style talaga na medyo natangsit, kung ganun. But their culture is, most of them are kind, of course, based on their history, the Khmer Rouge, most of the people there are persecuted and all. So, now, most of the time, parang ayaw nila ng mga yung nagagalit, sumisigaw, so that's not effective to them. So I learned how to tame my mouth. There's no shouting, less shouting there because you need to, adjust on their culture. And language barrier. Most of my kids cannot speak well in English at the beginning of the school year. Good thing I have assistant na magta-translate. But the rule there is, we need to speak in English, train them to speak in English. Okay, so I think that's in Cambodia. Okay naman sa Cambodia, ang workload, hindi ako masyadong pagod because I have besides my two hands, meron pa akong four hands kasi I have two assistant teachers. My coworkers are very, tinutulungan ka talaga nila, and the work environment is very healthy. And people around, parents also, for 7 years, I didn't even encounter parents who, we talked sa office, nag-complain and all that. For as long as you know that you are doing your job well at wala kang ginagawang masama or you are not hurting the kids, parents will really, really like you. And most of the parents there as well are inviting us to eat with them, have fellowship with them. And one more thing in Cambodia, ang dami-daming holidays doon. Birthday ni King, birthday ni Queen, Khmer New Year, Chinese New Year, our New Year. So maraming mga holidays doon. Kaya fresh na fresh ka doon, hindi ka haggard. You are well rested. Okay. Next, after that, I went back home to the Philippines kasi parang nakakalawang na yung utak ko. I'm a kindergarten teacher for like 5 years. Parang phonics na lang alam ko. So I decided to went home to take my master's degree. And for, well, I know that you know already the qualifications in how to apply in the Philippines, so I will not talk more about that. But for us, OFWs, ang in-apply namin is the Sa Pinas Ikaw Si Mama at Sir. That's a program from DOLE and DepEd na i-prioritize yung mga OFW na teachers na pag-uwi, mai-in na sila agad or they already have an item sa Department of Education. So we availed or yun yung in-applyan namin. So pagkabalik, we naka-in na kami agad sa DepEd. Well, some are saying unfair, but that's the program from DOLE and DepEd. For us teachers who are teaching in the Philippines and wants to go home in the Philippines. Application process, I know I will not talk about it anymore. You need to have ranking and all that. And life as a teacher in the Philippines, well, I can say that Filipinos are for the three for this for the three for three different students group of students, I can say that Filipinos are the smartest, receptive, yung retention span nila talagang mas mahaba. They madiskarte and all that. I can say that Filipinos are, hindi naman dahil Filipino ako, but that's just my observation. Ayun, so life as a teacher in the Philippines, I taught in an elementary sa alma mater ko. I'm a sped teacher in our place. First time na may sped teacher doon. So, ang hirap, it's very challenging because it's first pioneering. So, lahat is you need to exert effort to learn more about how the setup is. But because they are trying to adapt like American setup, America's educational setup in the Philippines, but it's very, very different. In the Philippines, I'm just one sped teacher in at school, pero dito, per grade level ang sped teacher. So, in the Philippines, I pull out from kinder up until 6th grade, yung mga struggling or yung mga may manifestations, nag-pull out ako sa kanila. I took time to, modify, accommodate their needs. Pero dito, I just handled 5th grade. Yun lang yung handle ko. So talagang focus. But in the Philippines, grabe, super woman ako. And also, I still have a class in the morning na severe to profound. I have one Down syndrome and two autism, severe autism. So, hindi kami masyadong nag-academics but I'm teaching them life skills. And we lack resources there because of course it's just pioneering. Special education program there at school is just pioneering, so very very challenging talaga, super duper challenging. DepEd also gives us a lot of seminars, but most of the time limited lang, hindi lahat pwedeng pumunta. So that's one for me, that's one challenge because paano pag hindi ka nakapunta, you did not learn more learnings, mga ganon. So, ayun. What else? In the Philippines, overwhelming ang paperworks. I know that you know that. Ay, hindi ko kayo tinatakot, mga future teachers, but these are just the challenges that I faced. Maybe, ang gagawin nyo na lang, you need to manage your time well, don't procrastinate. Kung may time, gawin mo na lahat, wag nang ipagpabukas, ganun. But for me, um, kahit sa free time ko nagwo-work ako, kulang pa rin yung oras kasi yung workload ko is very, very, ang dami talagang workloads. Imagine, I'm teaching um, um, clustered class, tas nagpo-pull out pa ako. So imagine the lesson plans or DLL na ginagawa. At saka, wala pa akong assistant. So, I will prepare for my PowerPoint, I will prepare for my IMs and all that. Ayun, I know that you can imagine. Good thing, single ako, kaya hindi ko kailangang umuwi ng maaga sa bahay para magluto for my husband. But I can stay at school until 8 or 9 para lang tapusin. At kahit na umuwi ako, 2 a.m. pa ako natutulog kasi hindi pa tapos. So anyway, nakaya naman. Sabi nga nila, pag mahal mo yung ginagawa mo, ina-enjoy mo naman ang ginagawa mo. Pero of course, mapapagod ka rin. So after that, um, yeah, I know that you know educational setup already in the Philippines. They have the K to 12 na hindi masyadong na well implement. Ang ganda sana ng overview nun eh. But it's not well implemented sa reality. I hope that they will put more time on how to, do well or how to implement well the K to 12 system there in the Philippines now. Okay, and of course, I'll be talking about the I'll be talking about America. For the qualifications, application process, life as a teacher, and educational setup, let's start with the qualifications. For as long as you are at bachelor's degree, meron kang degree in teaching, at least 2 years experience at med licencia, you can qualify. So our sponsor is Chicago Public Schools. If you want, I can just send those information to your instructor, Miss Ma'am Marites. And if you want, I can just give you my email as well. If you have plans coming here soon, but mag-serve muna kayo sa Philippines. Okay. Okay, this is the application process. We sent our CV. There's an initial interview from the agency. And if nakapasa ka, you will start completing all the requirements such as application letter of intent, CV, diploma, all that, all those important things that you need. Of course, you need to have your passport as well there pala. I forgot, I think I have their passport. And if you pass everything, visa, interview, and flights na. And don't worry, if you come here, there are a lot of trainings before ka sasabak sa teaching sa school. Ganon. So, they will not, hindi ka nila pababayaan if you are here. Yun naman ang maganda. And one win, first win pala dito sa Chicago Public Schools, they have this union. Chicago Public School is known as like second. First yata ang New York for the highest paying SPED teachers or teachers here in America, because here in Chicago we have a teachers union who fought for our rights, everything that needs to be settled and all, sila yung nandyan for us. And you need to, kailangan mong magpa-member dyan. Okay, professional developments are overwhelming. I have 3 coaches. I have one lead coach and 2 mentors. One from the school, one from CPS, Chicago Public Schools, and then one from a private school, I mean private institution. They are really, really very generous in giving such trainings and coaching and mentoring. Plus, they're paying you. May bayad ka every time that you will be attending mentoring or professional development. So, overwhelming yan. Also, resources are well provided. Hindi ako masyadong nagpupuyat kasi one click away, everything is in there. Quizzes are in there, lesson plans are in there, audio, lahat, text to speech, everything is in there. Overwhelming. Some of the resources, di ko pa nga nagagamit. And for the technology, students have their own computers. You also have your own computer. The school will provide, and all the websites and all the applications are in there. One click away. If you are Everything is in there. Hindi mo na kailangang gumawa ng quiz every now and then, mag-record. Minsan pa may mga apps doon na magre-record na diretso na sa Aspen mo or kung saan mo i-record. So, overwhelming and very helpful kasi hindi ka ma-overwhelm sa work. For us special education teachers, napapagod lang kami for IEP meetings pag gagawa kami ng individual educational plan, meeting and collaborating with all the team. Yun lang yung medyo stressful. But nakakaya naman. Okay, I'll go for the challenges. So I have diverse learners, even though they are just only 6, but they are way different from each other. For almost 2 to 3 months, nahirapan akong mag-adjust because they are really, really bastos. They don't know how to respect. They answers back. Well, because they have different family backgrounds. Most of them have broken family. Most of them have single mother, and most of them, maybe five of them, are like, amoy marijuana every morning because at home it is, they're smoking. I mean, the parents or the adults at home are smoking marijuana, and they are fifth grades. It's not impossible na soon they will also smoke one. That's why I always tell them, please, please, you need to study, you need to graduate and all that. Even though sometimes they're having hard time to read and all that. Basta may na-share ka na, in a way, practical things, in a way, you know, how to set their goals, encourage them that they will not end up there. Because if you will ask them kung anong gusto nilang maging, they will say soccer players. Some will say you know, I will steal. Some say I will not finish college because yeah, sad reality from kinder up until grade 12, I think, or until senior high, something like that. It's free. Pero once na nag-college ka, ang mahal-mahal na talaga. That's why student loan is very popular here. Pero sobrang mahal pala ang university dito sa Amerika. But there are some scholarships. So I always encourage my kids, like every day, I want you to be like this, something like that. You encourage them because they don't hear that at home. They don't, yung attention na binibigay mo sa kanila, they don't feel it at home. At first, I really hated them kasi ang babastos nila. They don't know how to respect me. Unlike Philippines and Cambodia, that I am well respected. 1 month, 2 months, classroom routines are set up already. Parents are helping. Pero here, it's very different. Because I'm located in the South pala. Pag sinabing South pala dito sa Chicago, more on Black American population, community. So, imagine na lang. And we all know that sometimes yung feeling nila deprived sila, feeling nila slave sila and all that. But no, I always tell them na no. So it took me like 4 months bago mag-adjust. 4 months na umiyak every now and then kasi nga ang babastos nila. Until na-learn ko to ignore, not to be sensitive, shrug it off, normal yan sa kanila, and they don't mean whatever they're saying. Kasi ganon sa bahay, sigawan. So when I taught and learned more about their backgrounds, natutunan ko na yung mga ugali nila. We're getting along. We're getting along now better na. I mean, they know if I'm angry, they know when to shut their mouth. They know they know already the routines and rules at inside the classroom, and it took me like 2 quarters, I imagine. In the Philippines and Cambodia, no. First month pa lang, okay na yan, well adjusted. But here, it's challenging. Other challenges, yes, behavioral management, it's very difficult. As I've said, trinay ko na lahat ng alam kong theories, strategies, hindi pa rin effective. So ignoring them, being firm, kailangan nga natangsit ka, kailangan firm ka, matapang ka, and that's effective to them. Class size, sa Gen Ed, because I do also push in, like pupunta rin ako sa classroom nila, class size, medyo madami sila. 35, pero dapat 20 lang daw. And oh my God, most of them are really like, totoo yung nagbabatuhan sa classroom, yung I don't care, shut up, gaganon nila sa teacher nila, hindi sila makikinig, ganon. Totoo yan. Kaya ako, for as long as na-tame ko yung mga group ko, okay na ako doon. Racism as well, sometimes they are laughing on how I talk. It's normal, but most of the time, I always tell them that we are all the same, that you need to respect everyone here in this classroom. And of course, the culture, nahirapan ako. It's different from Asian culture. It's totally different. It's very, very different. So, you can search more about the culture here in America, but talagang nahirapan din ako. And up until now, I'm still adjusting. Dito, more on individualism. Maganda rin naman kasi walang pakialamanan, but they always say no man is an island. We still need each other. So those are the challenges, main challenges that I've had. Those are my life as a teacher here. And dito pala relax. Hindi ako masyadong napapagod sa IMs, pag-prepare ng mga gagamitin because it's all provided, overwhelmingly provided. So, yun, napapagod lang ako if I will have IEPs. Ganon. And to conclude it all, let me just read this to you. Teaching in a different country offers valuable opportunities for personal and professional growth. Yeah, you need to grow. Sabi nga nila, you will grow if you will step out from your comfort zone. And it allows educators to experience new cultures, adapt to diverse learning styles, and develop a global perspective. Despite the challenges such as language barriers, yeah, and I've said cultural differences, the experience can be incredibly rewarding. Yeah, I'm learning a lot from my students here, and they are also learning a lot from our culture because I'm also sharing our culture, fostering both cross-cultural understanding and a deeper appreciation for education worldwide. And one more thing, segue lang, American Dream for me is really like maybe 12 to 15 years in the making. Sa high school, I mean college pa lang ako, I told myself na someday I'll go there. Talagang it's my goal. So it started with a dream. It started with a goal. And at the right time, it will be fulfilled. So for you, if there are some sa inyo na nakikinig, if you have plans coming here, start by, doing your thing in fulfilling your goal or dream. Hindi lang nangangarap or hindi lang nag-set ng goal, but you also need to work for it. You need to have your masters, you need to ex- gather your experiences, learn from each other, and you need to grow as well if you want to, fulfill your dreams. Ganoon naman yun, di ba? And hindi lahat minamadali. There will always be the perfect timing para ma-fulfill mo ang dream mo. And if you really want, I mean, if it's really for you, it will go smoothly. As I've said, dito, pagpunta mo dito, it's very expensive, of course, coming here. But if para sa'yo, everything will be provided. Yon, sharing lang naman. And lastly, let me just share this quote. A teacher doesn't just share knowledge, they plant seeds of hope, kindness, and courage that grow in us forever. I remember my first batch of students, they always messages me, nagpapasalamat daw sila, and they are if you really have an impact to your students, they will always be forever, they will always remember you, or they will never ever forget you. So yeah, we will share knowledge, but most of the time we will go back to our pinaka goal ba, or pinaka purpose, for to show passion, to give love to our students, to mold them as well. Yeah, and always tell them that there's a hope, that they will always have a bright future. So good luck to everybody. I hope that may natutunan kayo, and experiences will be very different from each other, but I hope that may natutunan kayo sa konting sharing. Thank you very much from Chicago. Once again, this is Miss Fritzy Onapaag. Good evening or good morning, everyone. Bye.